Hello and welcome to this scientific video abstract. I'm Martin Jensen, a PhD student at Philipps University Marburg, Germany. In this short video, I will present our study titled Does It Matter What is Trained? A randomized controlled trial evaluating the specificity of alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback in reducing tinnitus symptoms. You will learn that although our study represents a step in the right direction of understanding the mechanisms of neurofeedback, we still have some way to go before it can become mainstream treatment for tinnitus. Let's dive into the details of our study. Tinnitus is a condition characterized by the perception of a phantom sound in the absence of any physical source. It affects an estimated 10 to 15% of the global population, with 1 to 3% experiencing severe and disabling consequences. Common symptoms include insomnia, concentration problems, anxiety, depression, and communication difficulties. Currently, there is no treatment that can reduce or eliminate tinnitus. But with tinnitus being generated in the brain, several neuromodulation methods have been explored for their therapeutic potential in recent years. Neurofeedback is one such method. It utilizes real-time feedback from the brain to help individuals self-regulate and thereby optimize brain function. The aim of our study was to assess the specificity of an alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback protocol that had shown promise in previous exploratory trials. In a 3-arm study design, participants were randomly assigned to receive either alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback, beta-theta ratio neurofeedback, or a minimal treatment intervention. To assess the impact of the interventions on tinnitus, we used 2 measures: the Tinnitus Handicap Inventory for assessing tinnitus distress and the Tinnitus Magnitude Index for evaluating tinnitus intensity. Measurements were taken at 4 different occasions, with the first assessment prior to the intervention and the final assessment at 3 months follow-up. Our results demonstrated that all groups experienced benefits from their respective interventions. Despite a trend favoring alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback, we found no differences between the 2 neurofeedback groups on the 2 primary outcome measures. We can therefore conclude that improvements in tinnitus symptoms are not related specifically to an alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback protocol. Still, it may be too premature to completely disregard alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback as a potential therapy for tinnitus. The analysis of the EEG data collected during training indicated successful learning in the alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback group. This therefore leaves open the possibility that with further refinement to the protocol, it may yield greater positive treatment benefits. The second important finding in our study was that the beta-theta ratio neurofeedback participants reported lower tinnitus intensity scores compared to the minimal treatment intervention group at 3 months follow-up. Analysis of the EEG data collected during training suggests that this difference had nothing to do with the neurofeedback training. That is, there was no evidence that the beta-theta ratio neurofeedback protocol was able to influence brainwave activity, and therefore therapeutic effects were largely driven by non-specific factors. Since treatment expectations did not differ between the 2 groups, we suggest that enhanced control beliefs largely drove the therapeutic effect in beta-theta ratio neurofeedback, at least when assessing tinnitus intensity over time. In conclusion, our work highlights that with some adjustments, it might be worth further exploring the alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback protocol in the treatment of tinnitus. Still, our findings also show that there is a long road ahead before neurofeedback can become a mainstream treatment for tinnitus. In sum, We believe that our study represents an important step towards a better understanding of factors contributing to the therapeutic effects of alpha-delta ratio neurofeedback in tinnitus. Thank you for watching. For further details of the study, please refer to the publication in Brain Communications.